You are with Movie on Mic, the bi-weekly podcast to take you through the exciting world of digital streaming. Know the latest OTT trends, thought leadership notes, insightful discussion, and much more in a bite-sized podcast for your listening pleasure.
Hello everyone. I hope you're having a nice day. This is your host Kritika Verma on your favorite podcast Movie on Mic. I'm going to start this podcast by talking about one of the incidents that happened with me some time back. On the occasion of Father's Day, I browsed through all kinds of gifts for him. Men's perfume, shirt, watch, and even grooming kit. However, it has been 2 weeks since Father's Day and the e-commerce platform still thinks that I want to buy men's product. Or maybe they have misunderstood me for a man, which is weird because I have been a loyal customer to them for the past few years. It made me wonder why this is happening. So I Googled it and came to know that this is happening because the recommendation engine that this e-commerce platform uses might not be using the correct algorithms. I was surprised to know that the recommendation engines are now a part of every industry. In fact, it contributes over 35% of Amazon's revenue and 75% of Netflix users browse recommended content. So it is important that platforms use the right recommendation engine as the right configuration can make a huge difference in their revenues. So let us learn more about the recommendation engine on today's podcast through a guest who has expertise in recommendation engine and artificial intelligence. He has climbed up the ladder in his career from product analyst to product manager through his impeccable knowledge and hard work. Please welcome my today's guest, Prasenjit Jena, product manager at Movie. Welcome to Movie on Mic, Prasenjit.
Hello, Kritika. Thank you for this warm welcome. Looking forward to have a great conversation with you on this podcast.
Great. So Prasenjit, before we start, I would like to thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to do this podcast. I understand that you're very busy as you're working on 2 products, Ali and Dave Tools. So thanks a ton for doing this.
It's okay, Kritika. Thank you for this giving me this opportunity here. So I guess this conversation, out of this conversation, we can talk more about your topic, that is the recommendation engine. And we'll be enjoying, while talking about all those things, learning about how it does and all those things.
Sure. Learning is what is important. So Prasenjit, I'm going to start with some basic questions first so that everyone listening to this podcast can understand what we will be talking about next. Does that work for you?
Sure, Kritika, no problem.
Okay, so let us start with the most basic question. What is the recommendation engine?
So, recommendation engine is a type of data filtering tool which uses different machine learning algorithms or the deep learning algorithms, even the natural language pre-processing concepts to recommend the most relevant items to a particular user or customer. Basically, it operates on finding different patterns of how the end users are interacting with the system, what they are viewing, what they are purchasing, what they are adding to the cart. So all these types of interactions are being captured through a recommendation engine to give you the right item that would be very much feasible based on your taste and how you are and what you are purchasing from the system.
Okay, Prasenjit. So the next question that arises, once we know that what a recommendation engine is, what is the need for it? Is it very necessary? Is it something that, all industries should adopt? What do you think about this?
Well, Kritika, technology is advancing rapidly, right? And day by day, the businesses are coming online. Customers are purchasing everything from the internet. The internet is going very fast and it's almost present in all the corners of the world. Everyone has access to the internet, right? So with multiple businesses doing business online, they want to engage more with their customers, their needs, what they like, what they dislike. They want to increase their customer engagement. They do not want to lose customers, right? So, knowing a customer and serving them better is always a hectic job and for a business. And it's way too difficult when you have a strong customer base. Let's say 100 plus customer is also a strong customer base if you are a small sized company or a business, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
to give them a very personalized experience, the recommendation system comes into picture here. It helps business grow by providing the real-time items or contents that a customer may like or purchase, thereby increasing the business revenue. Even they are also able to retain the customers, and they are also able to learn about what the customers likes or dislikes. Like you clearly said earlier, like even 35% percentage of Amazon revenue is extracted through the recommendations. Even 75% percentage of recommendation content is been viewed by the Netflix users. That's even more. Like if we see, in this pandemic, it has even risen to it up to 250% for the Netflix users, right? So like most of the customers or the end users are interacting more online. They want to get a very personalized kind of content that they like, so that they will keep on visiting your system and interact more and purchase more.
Yes, Prasanjit, I totally agree with your point that, in the pandemic, the number must have grown so much. Uh, but, my question here is like, I explained like what happened with me quite some time back about recommendations about, men's product, that the website is recommending me product about men. And
Mhm.
while I was searching for it on Google, I came on some words like, like there exists a recommendation engine, but there is also a different type of recommendation engine that is artificial intelligence based. So, what exactly is this? What does it mean by artificial intelligence?
So, Kritika, like if I tell you in simple terms about artificial intelligence, like the word seems to be very huge, but the concept is very simple. Like it's just a set of programs that runs automatically to give you your desired output without any human interference. It's just like teaching a machine all the basics so that it can learn, analyze, and incur an intelligence that can serve a purpose. Like artificial intelligence can be used in different industries in a different possible ways. Like there's no limit into that. Like it can be used in hospitality, it can be used in real estate, everywhere to boom the business, right? So if to make you understand more on the artificial intelligence, how actually an AI works, no, let me just give you just a small example.
Sure,
Just
sure.
yes. Kritika, consider machine, as a newborn baby. Okay, it's just a newborn
Yes.
baby. The
Okay.
baby doesn't talk, doesn't know anything what you are saying, right? When a baby takes birth, he doesn't know, he or she doesn't know anything about, right? He just know how to cry and nothing else, right?
Yes.
So, but the voice that you're sending is an input to the baby, right? Like you talk to the baby. If you're a mother, you
Yes.
talk to the baby. You talk many things like call me papa, call me mama, of dad, mom, anything, right? In
Yes.
AI, we call it as data. So here, the voice that you are incurring is the data here. Now the baby has
Okay.
a brain. Okay, now consider brain as the machine.
Okay.
So the baby has a brain that can be referred to as a set of algorithms running inside. Like the machine is run by algorithms, so here the baby's brain is run by its own set of algorithms, like the arteries and vein and everything. Right.
Yes.
Now the brain try to understand and learn what you are trying to speak. Like you are mimicking some voice to the baby. The baby doesn't recognize it for the first time, but it tries to learn, try to understand what you are trying to say to the baby. So if
Yes.
you always say like dad, or mom, grandpa, grandmom. So all these things are getting inside the ears of the child. And when the child speaks for the first time, it will say either the dad or mom, because from since the birth, it has only heard these two types of words. Okay. Now
Yes.
it's how a baby learns. Now the time and more like with time and more the voice inputs, the child learns how to talk day by day. He will call you mama, how are you? I want food and all these things. It takes time, right? So what here it does, the brain creates her own intelligence so that the baby can start to talk with you. So day by day, the intelligence in child improves. So does the machine. Like in machine, in similar fashion, the machine or the AI works in a similar fashion. You provide the data, The machine doesn't know anything. The machine try to learn from how what we are providing, which all data you are providing, how what are the patterns and all those things. And day by day, using that data, it grows. The intelligence grows so that it can predict better, it can know you better, and it can give you the output in a better formatted way. So this is the overall AI, like how you would define AI as a terminology.
Prasanjit, I'm really impressed with the example that you took, like connecting artificial intelligence with a baby. So, yeah, that's really nice. And I'm just going to plug in a joke over here that artificial intelligence is basically a baby from, of humans. Like we generated it. I mean, not me, but people like you. So,
Absolutely, like people, humans are way too much intelligent enough to build a machine who can compete with their intelligence as well. So, people are finding different ways to automate everything.
yes, yes. So, Prasanjit, moving forward, like what just before this, I explained the difference between, and like, my question was how different an AI-based recommendation engine is to a normal recommendation engine. When I was searching for my query sometime back, these two terminologies popping up on Google that there are two different types of recommendation engines, but I'm not sure what it is. So can you please explain it?
Yes. So, well, that's a huge but a simple difference between both. There are basically, when we talk about recommendation engine, there are basically two types. One is the conventional recommendation engine, and one is the AI-based recommendation engine. Well, they both serve the same purpose, but the way of plugging in and using the recommendation is a bit different. So, what happens in a normal conventional recommendation system? There is no learning expect. Like I gave you an example earlier, where the baby was learning, and based on the learning, the baby was able to talk and can use their own intelligence. So that's where the AI come into picture, right? So here in a conventional recommendation engine, there is no learning expect. No one learns anything. Everything is hard coded or manual. For example, like let's say, for example, you are running a blog website where you write articles on technology. You have 100 plus blogs. Okay. Now you write some articles that may be relevant to each other. Let's say we are talking about AI. So you have written some blogs, 5 to 6 blogs or articles related to AI. Now that and and you might have made another section in your blogging website as related items where you want to plug in those related content. So for now you have a you have just written a blog on AI, and few days back you have written various articles, like 4 articles related to AI, machine learning and all. So you want to keep a relation of all these things, so that if your viewers who are coming on to your blogging website to read about AI, so they can also view the related contents over down the below. So that you have also written on deep learning, machine learning, so all those things are there. So now all those things has been tagged manually. There is no coding part, no AI into it. Like you have tagged it manually. Now what happens, like in all the pages where you want to show the related contents, you either have to write it manually, you just have to plug it manually, or you just have to write a simple Python or Java code that will bring up all those articles that is there in a particular category, and it will start popping up there. So, irrespective of what your end users are viewing or reading or anything, it will recommend only those articles. It won't change unless you go there and manually change it. So this is about how conventional recommendation system previously used to work. But with advance in technology and AI coming into picture, now you don't have to worry about all these things. Like you don't have to control anything. You just
Okay.
have to yes. So what you need to do is you just need to uh, send all your data to the AI engine where it will get trained, and you just need to hook it into your blogging website where you want to show the recommendation, and you are done. You don't have to worry about what I have to show. You don't have to worry about, do I need to categorize it on my website and all. You don't have to worry about anything. Now based on how your users are interacting, now that's catch here. Now here what will happen, Now, AI will also come into picture and it will know about your end users, like what they are interacting, what they are watching, what they are not watching. So based on that, it will also give you recommendation. Like it is not, manually or hard coded tagged over there. So what it does, it saves time, it saves the effort, it also saves the maintenance cost of all those things. You do not have to worry about anything. AI is there, it will guide your end users well, it will give you the right contents to your end users, and you can sit, on your office or at your home, and you can just think about how I should write my articles, and you do not have to worry about how I should tag or relate all those articles. So it would all be done through AI.
Okay, okay, that's great. So I think it is safe to say that artificial intelligence is making our life easier.
Of course, it is critical. Like not even in the recommendation engine, but in different industries as well. So AI is taking over, and it is giving a well-desired output also. Well, there will always be error while through AI. Even a human does error. So even the
Yeah,
machine will do some error, but thereby going on the long run, you saves your time, saves the cost, saves the maintenance, and everything.
that's great. That's great. So, Prasenjit, one of the products that you're working on is a recommendation engine. So, what is it? Is it an AI-based recommendation engine or a normal recommendation engine?
Kritika, we are working on a product like the product that you clearly mentioned. It's AI-based recommendation engine. We are calling it as Ali. Of course, though it is a AI-based recommendation, we try to choose for a name that starts with letter A, so that Ali was the name that was given to that. So that's based at totally based on AI, like deep learning and NLPs.
Okay, okay, that's great. So, can you also explain, some of the use cases of the product that you're working on, Ali?
Yes. So, the vision of Ali was very simple, to reach out to small, mid, or high level businesses to help them increase their end user engagement and recommend the right products to their end users so that they do not lose their end users and can improve the user engagement activity. Now, when we talk about the use cases, we have not considered any specific industry or targeted any specific industry. Any businesses, be it e-commerce, media, podcasts, or gaming, real estate, anything, like any businesses who have a strong, customer base and a platform where their end users are, interacting. So all those businesses would be able to use Ali for the recommendation.
Okay, 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 great, great. So, here's just a quick question, like, what do you think what makes Ali unique? Like, is it, some features or some, uh, the algorithms that it uses is different from others? What exactly does it, what exactly makes it unique?
So, the uniqueness lies in the ability to learn and recommend items. It's not only that Kritika, but basically a simple to use CMS that we are providing, where you do not have to be very much technical or learn more about AI or ML. As a simple person, you can just log into the system, try to check out how Ali performs. You can do it in a very simple four-step process. So apart from that, we have a lot of algorithms already in place, and we'll be building more, of course, to solve the business problems. All those algorithms are powered by ML and deep learning algorithms. Making it best for using the product itself is very easy. Like we have tried to streamline the process to set up Ali so that, like I said, any person who is non-technical can also understand Ali, can also check out the features and disabilities and can try it out of their own even before they try to reach out to the technical the team for an integration process. Now even the integration process we have made it very simple. It's like if you want to integrate your platform with Ali, you can just do that through an API. So we have already our API's integration in place through which you would be able to send us the data, and you can create your project, choose your algorithm, and even fetch the recommendations through the APIs. So all those things has been listed already. For when we talk about recommendation engine, Kritika, basically there are three types of data that is required. One is the user data, one is the item data, one is the behavioral data. Now, the business doesn't have to worry about, the the behavioral data. Basically, we have a JavaScript library in place, which makes it very unique. One just needs to copy the JavaScript code and they need to paste it on their website, and we will be able to track how their user are engaging on their system. So they do not have to worry they have to share us the user details and how will they send the user behavioral data to us. They do not have to worry about anything. What they have to just worry is they need to send the item data to us, because you do not know like what all items they are having on their database or something. So that is what I think makes Ali very unique. Simple to use CMS, very easy integration, and anyone can check the output even on the CMS as well before going live.
Okay, okay, great. One more question, Prasanjit. Is there any free trial that Ali offers?
Yes, Kritya, we offer 14 days free trial. So anyone can just try out our product for 14 days and they can check out how Ali is recommending. Like I said, like we have an output section in the CMS itself. Any businesses can view the output on the CMS. So they do not have to integrate it on their live website. So they can just pull some dummy data, train the model on the CMS and view the output on the CMS itself.
Oh, that's great. After this podcast, I'm going to try the free trial to check and
Sure,
understand
Kritika, you should.
everything. Thanks. So, moving on, Prasanjit, what do you think? Where does Ali stand? Like there are, now, especially there are multiple recommendation engines in the market. So, what do you think? Where does Ali stands?
Ali has been there with us since last 1 2 years, serving only the OTT industries. Ali is the subproduct of movie being the OTT player. We have a use case for that. So we are basically serving only the OTT industries previously, but with the new features and enhancements, we have made it industry agnostic. That means any industry who wants to recommend items to the user can use Ali as a leveraging tool. So in this case, like when I talk about industry agnostic, very few platforms support all these things. Two to three platforms support industry agnostic feature. Like most of them either inclined towards OTT or e-commerce. Basically, most of them are totally inclined towards e-commerce, so that they have made their the CMS and all the features related to e-commerce industry only. But we being very industry agnostic, we do not are not inclined to any particular businesses. So any businesses who want to recommend items to their end users are most welcome to our platform. And we also have some of our in-house algorithms which serves a very high accuracy range of around 80 to 90%. So that's a bit of high accuracy that any customer can leverage their end users to give the right contents.
Okay, okay, great, great, Prasanjit. I'm just curious to know, whether what kind of industries can use Ali? Like, can the hospitality industry or the newspaper websites, can they also take the advantage of Ali?
Yes, definitely critical. Like the hospitality and news and media industries are now booming now a lot. The in if I talk about hospitality, they can leverage Ali to recommend the right kind of hotels or rooms or any kind of things that they want based on how their end users are interacting. And if I talk about news and media, of course, there are thousands and thousands of articles being posted every day. And not every article is very much relevant to you or me. Your taste of preferences will be different.
Yes,
My taste
true.
of preferences will be different. So basically, of course, like I said, Ali can be hooked over there, and it's a very big use case for them as well. They would be able to use this tool and would be able to reach out to more of their end users with the right contents that they want to serve.
Okay, okay, great. So, this leads me to the next question, that is, how does Ali work? How does Ali work? Its functions and everything.
So, be it Ali or any of the recommendation engine or any of the AI platform, so everything works with the data. Like data is the key to everything. More the data, better will be the recommendations. So that's the process how ML based algorithm platforms works. So here in this case, the data has to be sent to Ali. Like I was telling previously, when we talk about data, we do not need all the data. We just need three types of data. One is the user data, one is the item or product data. The third one is the behavioral data, like how your end users are behaving with a particular content or item. So for the behavior like user if the if you have a strong if you have a user database in your in your system, and where your users are logging in, taking signups, so that means you have a user database, so you can either send the data to us. For example, you do not have a user database, and you are a news and media company where you do not have an account logged in for your end users to view the articles. So there, what happens is basically we try to generate the user details through the behavioral data. Like when you talk about for the behavioral data, we are like I said earlier, we have the JavaScript library in place that will get all this information, like how your end users are interacting with a particular content. So here in this case, what will happen is that when someone is like unknown user is logging on to your website, we'll create a unique ID for the end user based on the IP addresses and other different parameters that will be very unique to the end user. So anytime the end user try to log into the system, so based on that we'll be able to map the customer, like yes, of course this customer has logged previously, so based on that we'll be able to give the recommendations. Now post this, what you need to do is like you have to choose an algorithm. Like all the data part is set, the next part you have to do is you have to choose an algorithm based on your use cases. We have different set of algorithms in place, like we currently have 5 set of algorithms, and many more will be building in coming days. We have a very dedicated team who are working and delivering very fast. So if you have any custom algorithms or any different requirement in place, so we can build the your very custom customer generic algorithms for you, and we can so that you will be able to train the model and check out the recommendations. And of course we are also offering a different set of conditions that you can put on the top of recommendation. So for example, like if you want to recommend only the items whose your rating will be greater than 4, so you would be able to do that as well. Like this is just an example. If you have multiple conditions as well, so you will be able to set it up. So that's the flow how Ali works. You send the data, you choose an algorithm, you set up the condition if there is any, you check the output.
Okay, great, great. So basically, if I want to, use some algorithm that I think might work for my company, I can use it as well. Like this is the feature that Ali offers.
Yes, right.
Oh, that's really great, I must say. So, Prasenjit, thank you so much for taking time for doing this podcast. Before I can say goodbye to you, there are just some, quick rapid fire questions that I would like to ask. You can answer it in one word or one line, whatever you think is right. So,
Okay.
are you ready?
Sure, Kritika, no problem. Let's start. I'm excited.
Okay. So, the first question is, what according to you is the best use case of Ali?
The product itself is very simple and easy to use. Like if you ask me to pick only one, I would say the different algorithms that we have. So that would be the best features that we currently have for Ali.
Okay, that's great, great. The next question is three suggestions you would give to me if I were to integrate Ali with my business.
One, I would tell you the patience. Patience is the key. So you have to be very patient enough. Second is you do not have to worry about integration. Our team does the integration as well for you. So you don't have to worry about that. And the
Great.
third one is like you can change your algorithms anytime, any day, and change your conditions as well. So that's very much flexible enough.
Okay. So in future, if I ever start my own business, I know which recommendation engine to use. Thanks to
Right.
you. Yeah. So the next question is, which feature of Ali do you like the most?
Uh, the one feature that I like the most was the viewing output in the CMS. Like anyone can check the recommendation in the CMS itself. Like they can filter based on the user or items, like for example, what all has been recommended for a particular user, or what will the recommendation if someone selects an item. All this you can view in the CMS itself. So that's the feature that I like.
Oh, that this feature is really intriguing. That's great. Okay, next rapid fire question is, which is one feature that you wish was a part of Ali?
A more in-depth analytics of how your users, how the end users are interacting. Maybe like how we are already capturing those information, but showing that same thing on the CMS would be an added benefit. So we already have that in our roadmap, but we have not currently incorporated that one. But definitely we'll be doing that in coming days.
Okay, okay. That good to know that Ali will be growing in future. Okay, so the last question is, if given the opportunity to run an OTT business, when would you get a recommendation engine for your business?
Oh, tough question. Well, being new, I should use it from the starting itself. Like every users who will be visiting my website will be my affiliates indirectly. Like if the recommendation is in place and it will recommend good movies or web series, that will help them see more contents and spend more time on the platform. It's a good thing for me. And this will also enable them to recommend other users to check out my platform, like hey boss, come and check out, this is the this is a OTT platform which is giving you a very personalized contents based on how you are interacting. So indirectly I'll be engaging more, and it will help me increase my business.
Okay, that's great. That's great. I will keep this in mind, when I will start my own business.
Sure, Kritika, no problem. If there is a free trial, you can definitely try it, Darko.
Sure, sure. Like after this call, I'm going to, go and try the 14-day free trial. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Prasanjeet, for doing this. It was a pleasure having you on Movie on Mic.
Thanks, Kritika. Thank you. Have a great day.
Same to you.
That's not the end of the story. You can follow www.movie.com for more information and reach out to marketing@movie.com for any queries you have.